Once upon a time, in a quiet village, surrounded by tall mountains and deep green forests, there lived a little boy named James, who often visited his wise grandfather. James was curious and loved to ask questions about life, happiness, and the strange feelings that sometimes troubled his young heart. One cool evening, as the sun was sinking behind the hills and the orange sky filled the valley with a warm glow, James sat beside his grandfather near the crackling fire. He looked a bit worried. Grandfather gently asked, "What is bothering you, my child?" James hesitated for a moment and then said, "Grandfather, sometimes I feel angry for no reason, and other times I feel kind and loving. Sometimes I want to fight, sometimes I want to help. Why do I have so many different feelings inside me? Which one is the real me?" The old man gave a calm smile, and after a long, thoughtful pause, he said, "James, inside every person, including you and me, there are two wolves who are always fighting. One wolf is full of anger, jealousy, greed, arrogance, and hate. This wolf wants to control, to hurt, to win at any cost. The other wolf is full of peace, love, kindness, humility, and joy. This wolf wants to care, to help, to forgive, and to bring happiness. These two wolves live inside everyone, and they are always in a silent battle." James's eyes grew wide. He imagined two real wolves fighting inside his chest. "But grandfather," he asked in a worried voice, "if they are always fighting, which wolf will win?" The old man looked deeply into the boy's eyes and said softly, "The one you feed." James was silent. The words settled deep in his heart. Grandfather continued, "Every thought you think, every choice you make, every word you speak is like food. When you choose kindness, patience, and understanding, you feed the wolf of love and peace. When you choose anger, jealousy, or pride, you feed the wolf of hate. The stronger wolf is the one you feed every single day." James thought about all the times he had shouted in anger or felt jealous of his friends. He realized he had been giving food to the wrong wolf. Grandfather gently placed his hand on James's shoulder and said, "The world will always give you reasons to feed the angry wolf. People may hurt you. Things may not go your way. You may feel left behind. But you always have a choice. You can stop, breathe, and decide which wolf deserves your energy." James asked, "But what if I feel angry before I can think? What if I make a mistake?" Grandfather smiled and said, "That is why we practice. Just like a seed grows into a tree with care, the peaceful wolf grows stronger with practice. Every time you forgive instead of fight, every time you share instead of keep, every time you speak gently instead of shout, you are feeding the peaceful wolf. Slowly it becomes natural. Slowly the angry wolf grows weaker. As the fire burned low and stars began to shine above the mountains, Grandfather told stories of people who had fed the good wolf and changed their lives. He spoke of a man who forgave his enemy and found freedom, of a woman who chose kindness and discovered true friendship, of a young student who worked hard with honesty and built a future full of respect. James listened carefully. He felt the two wolves inside his own heart. One growled with pride. The other waited quietly with love. He whispered to himself, "I will feed the wolf of peace." Grandfather nodded with a knowing smile. "That is the secret, my child. Your thoughts are your food. Feed the good wolf every day, and one day you will see that love, kindness, and peace will guide your life." James looked at the night sky and felt a gentle calm inside him. From that day, whenever he felt anger rising, he remembered the two wolves and chose carefully which one to feed. He was still a little boy, but he had learned a big lesson that would guide him all his life. And if you enjoyed this story, please give it a like, share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Spirit Tales, for more inspiring stories that feed the peaceful wolf within you.